My name's Kate Monteith-Ross and I have a background in surgical. So I've always kind of been passionate about plastic surgery and going into aesthetics. I kind of brought all those loves together. This clinic is called the Clinic by the Ross and trying to house that gap between surgical and non-surgical. I first came across DERMALUX when I was visiting a colleague of mine in Scotland. And I remember seeing this device and just being like, what is this device about? Tell me more. And the more I learned about this technology, the more I knew I had to get involved with it. I got to see the DERMALUX in full swing, and I realised that it was being used continuously throughout the day, but also for various reasons. I can just remember sitting there thinking, why have I not heard about this before? Why does everyone not have this? What DERMALUX does as a whole is it kind of supports everything that we do. We've got 5 clinic rooms here. And even though it's quite a large device, it's quite compact and we can move it quite easily room to room. When you have a patient that comes to see you, perhaps they've had an abdominoplasty or they've had multiple areas of surgery, it's about optimizing those outcomes, making sure she has, or they have, an incredible journey, and that is by considering the whole 360-degree journey.
I first came to the clinic shortly after I'd had some plastic surgery. I had gone abroad and I had a abdominoplasty with liposuction. When I'd first had my surgery, I was quite bruised. I felt very sore. I wasn't able to mobilise very well. And I was recommended to expedite my healing was to go on the wonderful DERMALUX. So I'd heard that the light can help speed that process up, really help with the bruising, really help with the muscle pain and tension.
The actual machine itself, it's flexible. So you can, whether it's, encapsulating their face, whether it's on their stomach, whether you're opening it up and you're lying it flat, the fact that the tri-wave can move and is quite supported like that just makes sure that we don't interrupt the patient too much and that we keep them comfortable while we offer the treatment.
When I first came into the clinic, where my scar was obviously still quite fresh, it was quite sort of raised, it was quite red, looked quite aggressive as well. Once I'd been on the DERMALUX, I really noticed such an improvement in the tone and the texture and the skin surrounding the scar as well. When I first started coming in, I was having 2 treatments for 12 weeks, and then I have now gone down just to having a weekly maintenance session, and I still use the DERMALUX every week now.
We have a simple process here. We do the consultation, a patient is put on the tri-wave, they're set, they walk away with the timer. The patient knows there is a buzzer that they can press if they want us to come back in, but we can go back on with our day. Once you truly understand the technology, you are able to provide your patients with that individualised patient treatment every single time they come in. We know when we talk about the needs of a person, it's not just about their physiological ones, it's their social needs and psychological needs. I've had a patient who's coming in today and she had rosacea. This was causing massive impact to her life. Her job is customer facing, avoiding certain social interactions because of it.
I used to suffer quite badly with rosacea when I was stressed. So in those stressful situations, I would then start getting a few red patches on my cheeks and slightly under my eye. The treatments that I'd been offered prior to this, I'd been given medications, medicated creams, and none of these had really touched it. With the light therapy, I'd done some research, I'd had a look on the website, I'd just seen that it had said that it might help rosacea, so I thought I'd give it a go. I was a little bit anxious before I came in to see how it would come across onto my face, but actually it's fine. It's not painful in any way. The light isn't too strong. It's actually very relaxing.
It's a difficult condition to fix because a lot of the time we don't quite understand the triggers. So really management is key.
I used to come in once or twice a week to have those treatments. And then after that, I have maintenance treatments to keep it down and so that I don't suffer with it too much anymore.
The whole device, it looks very, very professional. The interface, even the functionality of it, the emergency switch, everything is there. It's ticking all the boxes. And if you have got a medical practice and you want a machine that's going to fit that, I don't think there's another machine on the market that offers all of that.
I would recommend this treatment because it's given me my life back a little bit. It's made my skin so much more comfortable and it's made me happier. Yeah, it's made me happier.
So if I was to recommend DERMALUX, I would say it's because of the feel-good factor, it's easily accessible, and it does exactly what it's meant to do.
It's a no-brainer. I've said this 1,000 times. I think the DERMALUX will 100% be something that people expect to see in every aesthetic practice in the next few years.